Willliam Wolak, che vive nel New Jersey e insegna scrittura creativa alla William Patterson University e sarà presentato da Wolfango Testoni. Prego.
La poesia di Willliam Wolak si insinua in quella terra desolata che vive di ricostruzioni e incontri, una terra dove i corpi e le cose portano le tracce di una violenza che, oltre ad essere memoria del vivere, è anche scrittura indelebile di un possibile riscatto. Dice il poeta, tocca la cicatrice e offrirà consigli sorprendenti. Le parole di Wolak si rivolgono a un tu che è tutti noi, un tu che grazie alla poesia è anche specchio. L'autoritratto allora si fa ritratto e viceversa. Ti descrivo per spiegare me stesso. Tu sei il contesto delle mie possibilità. Poesia dunque che affronta anche il difficile tema dell'amore senza mai cadere nel sentimento facile, perché attraverso la parola si tocca la traccia originaria degli accadimenti, il sentiero che raccoglie ciò che si disperde. La poesia, come dice il poeta, aiuta a raccogliere tutto ciò che è perso o inutile, con parole che proteggeranno ciò che è più vivo. Wolak, grazie.
Gracias, gracias. I too would like to thank Laura Garavaglia, who has organized the festival, and the other organizers as well. I've only seen Le Como from a train, looking longingly out the window, and so she has made possible for me a dream that has come true. All right, I'm going to begin, I think, with Fear of Almanacs. Is that it? Yes. Yeah, okay. So, an almanac is a book of prophecy, a book in the United States, and I think they have them in China as well. I don't know if you have them here. We do, yeah. And it tells farmers when to plant, whether it will be a very cold winter or whether it will be good. And so it looks into the future. And this is perhaps one of the most prophetic of my own poems. It's a bit of look into the future, an apocalyptic future that I see unfolding, and it's a kind of a warning. So I'll begin with this poem. Fear of almanacs. I've opened to the year of dancing scorpions. Desire will disappear into a museum where docents will explain the allure of nakedness. Phones will stop ringing and screens will go blank. Woodcutters will abandon their axes in stumps. This year, death and destruction will linger as close as a pair of aces. Shifts in the magnetosphere will cause the seasons to go haywire. Someone you once loved will become a yawn of sand right in front of your face. You will look out on the sea, and its odor will remind you of the unforgettable stench of the slaughterhouse. You will become the moth swimming in candle wax. Your body will be outlived by heat lightning. The undertaker's final offer will sound like a good deal. Orpheus will not return to sing the darkness out of the underworld. Orpheus will not return to sing the darkness out of the underworld. I'm sorry to start with such a bleak vision. I'm really a much more optimistic poet than that. And so this is a good example. Love opens the hands. I noticed one day in a park that when lovers were holding each other, that their hands were not like this, you know? And so when the hands are open, we're closer to tenderness and we're closer to what it is to be human beings than when we're like this. And so this is love opens the hands. Only the heart enjoys this fishing without a net. Beauty locks all the doors, and disaster breaks them down. Long absence resonates, anticipation, like the guesswork of desire. But deep roots grow deliberately around rocks, so that any guest who finally arrives eclipses the sun, becoming the feast and the wine and the dessert. Touch a scar, and it will offer some astounding advice. Loveliness fades, but not grace. The world loves lightning less than fire. Love opens the hands for kindness, and kindness is a debt you never tire of repaying. Gracias. Gracias. I was in India many years ago, and I've been in India many times, and I was in a very, very poor part of Delhi. And I saw some people living in boxes, in cardboard boxes. And I took that image with me, and it took 10 years for it to come out as a poem. I wanted very much to write a poem about this, and it was very difficult to do for me. And so finally, I arrived at a solution for working out this image, and the only one I could find was to write from the point of view of a young girl that I saw at the entrance of a house made of cardboard. And so this could take place anywhere. It doesn't have to be India, but it's about poverty. And here, speaking in a villa, what better place to remember poverty than in the middle of a villa? So this is written from the point of view of a young girl who was very poor, the poorest of the poor, and it's called A Song of the Lost Daughter. Hair of rope dragged along the ground. I sleep in rags, huddled in a cardboard box, dreaming of shoes, candy, and clean water. My father disappeared looking for work, my mother searching for food. Now little brother brings me brackish water, and I hold him like a blessing while he sleeps. Too scared to search for firewood, too weak to beg for food, too tired for a lullaby. Hair of rope dragged along the ground. My emaciated body too thin for an embrace. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes love goes wrong. Sometimes it's ecstatic. This is a poem looking backwards at a love affair that didn't turn out very well for me. And it's called In the Silence Between Love Songs. I miss your body sliding over mine, sleek as lightning, with your hips tilted a little towards delirium. I miss the hint of dawn in your fingernails and the dwindling moonlight of your hair. I miss the arching of your long back, smooth as a snow heron's neck feathers, and your upturned legs kicking at the ceiling when I slip my tongue inside you. I miss your blue eyes where I lost the sea, and your broad shoulders pressed against my back while I dreamed. But I miss you most in the silence between love songs. Thank you. We had a very, very large snowstorm this past winter, and the snow was this high, and it was very difficult to shovel out. But I was out there shoveling out my property, and there was a lot of wind, and literally I was watching, and snowflakes were blowing into the keyhole of my house. And so that's where this the title of this poem comes from. It's called Snowflakes Blown into a Keyhole. Don't keep avoiding love. Don't keep avoiding love. A raindrop disappears effortlessly with a single kiss into the restless sea. Sometimes strangers from a shipwreck arrive parched and thirsty. Sometimes survivors, burnt in a fire, turned up trembling with the cold. You believe your numbness is the end of the story, but it's only a symptom of the body suffering withdrawal. Even after generosity turns your hair gray, keep searching for the one counting on your kindness. Even after generosity turns your hair gray, keep searching for the one who's counting on your kindness. Lovers find each other mysteriously, like snowflakes blown into a keyhole. And so, if there's a duty that poetry brings to life, it's somehow to praise. And I think the praise poem is at the center of all writing, whether you're praising the beloved or you're praising the beauty of a building. And so this is kind of a credo of what I believe most about poetry: to praise and to forgive. Out of the rope's waiting embrace and the knot's memory of darkness, teach what it means to use hands. Help to gather everything lost or useless with words which will guard what is most alive. From the young gossiping and the old remembering, dare to hide nothing, till the young grow fond of remembering, and the old at last forget. Claim the right to praise, returning even from what cannot be solved or saved with abundance of kindness. Risk everything to offer, to strengthen, to forgive. Risk everything to offer, to strengthen, to forgive. Speak only to unite the one waiting with the one who could wait no more, to connect the loved one with the one loving. Thank you. Thank you. I love the ancient Greeks and I love the ancient Romans as well. In this particular case, here's a poem, a historical poem, a little bit different. It's called The Statue of Anacreon of Teos. Anacreon and anachronistic, so the poems of love and drinking in the Greek tradition. And so this is a poem about a statue I discovered. And I love this when I'm reading history and I come across something I've never heard of or something I never expected. And so I didn't know that there was a statue of this poet who I've loved since I was a child. I was ecstatic. And I wrote this poem. Pericles ordered 2 statues erected in the Acropolis, one of Xanthippus, his father, and one of the famous itinerant poet Anacreon, whose songs celebrated erotic love and wine drinking. Although the statue of Anacreon was lost, a shattered Roman copy was excavated from a villa near Raerti and painstakingly restored. The poet is depicted as a naked, bearded symposiast. Although his posture suggests inebriation, his face seems calm, reserved, even thoughtful, as if he were about to remark, "Youth that was graceful is gone." Anacreon. Well, the next one is entitled Bruise. It's a love poem, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Echoing blueness, color of the impossible darkness inside bells. Blue awakening sting of an embrace which still makes distance smile. You have made yours the riverbed of my flesh, where night always returns to drink from your hands. You have made yours this living fingerprint in which I feel you holding me from within. Okay. Just want to see what order they put them in. Okay. So this is in the form of a prayer for you all, and this is what I hope happens to everyone who is here sharing some poetry together today on a beautiful afternoon. The lover's body. May your hands reach beyond dreams where moonlight awakens as flesh. May your kisses seep deeper than rain into the body's pink crossroads. May your fingers touch the unexpected, always with the thrill of loving. All right, thank you. And now, a wild poem. It's good to have a wild poem once in a while. We don't want these staid poems, we don't want everyone to come up and just, So this is a wild poem, so I'll scream a little bit, all right? Just a little. And then we'll end with a love poem and everything will be fine. And so another role for poetry is to be connected with the unexpected and just the bizarre. And like the statue of Anacreon that I came across and wrote a poem about. And so I enjoy very much those things that are unexpected. And so the keeper of strangeness, another role for poetry. I am the light's fever in honey. I am the lullaby heard in a nightmare. In black-eyed alleys and along tide-calloused wharves, I am the room where you find what you're missing. I am the dial-tone flesh of frightening energy transfers. I am the expectant hands hovering over nakedness and the insomnia of sperm. My lap is a tool shed reaching dreamward. I am the scarecrow made of birds. I am the inexhaustible memory of salt. Out of anger, I created the wind's solitude. Out of love, the restlessness of the rain's long inhalations. I am the scream's only bridegroom. All right, so the last poem is a love poem, and it's a bit of a warning as too, is it's dangerous not to love. I think you will live longer if you're holding on to someone. And so this poem, it's dangerous not to love. I describe you to explain myself. You are the context of my possibilities, so my words belong to you in the end, because in the end it's dangerous not to love. And you emerge from me not as a photograph entrusting its single memory to paper, but as an ear's reminder of what the eye can never reach. Two directions, one crossroad. I, a rainmaker, conjuring absences. You, a dance floor to make time new. I, always approaching you, finding your nakedness everywhere. In the questioning spark of the blind man's eye, in the sunlight warming gravestones, in the embrace of an ice-bound harbor, I lick the thirst from your mirage. Sometimes I disappear where you touch me. Sometimes the well of your body absorbs me as I touch bottom. Still, I explain you to describe myself. You, the dream, talking in many voices at once. I, the sudden detachment of a wish expressed. God. Watercolor for me. Thank you so much. Art and poetry and music all go together, and thank you so much again.